The Girls Club, 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 The Girls Club. It's my club and I'm a girl, yeah.
Hello and welcome back to the Girls Club. I'm your president, Emily, and today we're back in the clubhouse. If you didn't tune in to last week's club meeting, go watch that. It's over on YouTube. And I'm just saying because there was a lot of members who were absent last week. Okay? But the reason is because last club meeting, we had a little field trip and the club met in the motherfucking woods. And I think y'all need to go check that out because it was interesting for me. If you guys watched it, what'd you think? It was very random, random. And yeah, so that was last week's club meeting in the woods because I was out of town last week. I went to go visit my parents and my nieces and my brothers, and it was a good time. I had a good little break. I took the whole week off of work, which I never do. I have unlimited paid time off at my job, which is amazing. However, I feel like when you get an unlimited amount of anything, you don't take advantage of it. You know what I mean? It's like if you worked at an ice cream shop and got free ice cream, you probably wouldn't eat the ice cream every day. Unless you do. And in that case, purr like you should, as you should, you know? I haven't said purr in, God, it's been years. But yeah, I just don't take advantage of like that benefit at my job because for what I do, since I make content and stuff, it's like that means I have to work doubly hard before I leave. Because like it's not like I have like a job where, you know, nothing's like due, you know? Like I have like things that have to be posted on certain days and videos that have to get filmed. And so for me to take off is a lot of work beforehand. So I just don't take off a ton because it honestly just creates more work for me to have to do. And I'm lazy. So yeah, that's the real reason. Spoiler, that's why. But yeah, I took last week off and you might notice something a bit different about me. I did get some sun. Hey. I know I am still pale. Hey, I'm not tan. I never claimed to be tan.
It's not my beef, but, you know, we Team Bryce out here. That's right. Even the paparazzi Team Bryce. Oh, God.
I have not referenced that meme in a long time, you guys, so let me have that. But, yeah, I'm not saying I'm tan, but let me show you my tan line. Oh! A little something, a little slip of the nip. No, I'm just kidding. I did not just show my nipple. I would never show my nipple. Well, I'm just kidding. Free the nip, though. Big believer of that. I just got big ass fucking nipples, so it's kind of like I can't really tastefully show my nipple. Hey, I am pro big nipple, okay? Big areola fam, stand up. Big areola fam, put your hands in the air and wave them like you just don't care. We got pepperoni nipples in the air. We got gabagool nipples in the air. We got capicola nipples in the air. Because I do have large areolas. And for that reason, like when I'm like free the nip, I'm like, yes. But at the same time, I'm like, I can't just casually wear no bra with like a see-through shirt because I feel like it's a bit pornographic. It's, you know, it's just like, it's like too much. It's like, oh, she's a woman. She's a full-fledged woman. And like that shit needs to go behind 18 plus. It's not just like a casual, like cute little like, I see just the shape, but not the color. Cause like my nipples are dark and they're huge. So where was I going with any of that? Oh yeah. Anyway, so I'm tan now. I'm just kidding. I'm not tan. I am tanner than I was. And the reason I'm saying this at all, is because I have been getting flirted with in public numerous times the past few days. And that does not really happen to me very often, you know? And you might be saying, how? You are, hey, I know, look at me. Who wouldn't want to hit this? Who wouldn't want to hit this? Who wouldn't want to flirt with this? But yeah, no, it's the news is true. I don't get flirted with that much in person. And it's crazy because literally I'm trying to think, like, what have I changed? I haven't gotten a haircut. I haven't done anything different with my makeup. I dress the same as I always do. But now a bitch has a tiny bit of tan. And by that, I mean, I'm not transparent anymore. I'm not giving Edward Cullen. And now the boys are knocking on my door. I'm acting like I got hit on by like 70 people. It was like 3 people. But 3 people in 1 week. And y'all, I don't leave the house. So that was every time I've left the house since I have become tan, I have been hit on. And that's big for me. Okay. Because like I said, I'm not the type to get hit on very much. Because also I'm very like, when I go out, it's because it's like, you know, I have to. It's not a lot of times for fun. It's more of like, oh God, I gotta go do this thing. And so I'm kind of in like a certain mode of like, okay, I'm here. I'm gonna get the thing. I'm gonna get it, and I'm gonna go. You know, it's like very boom boom bap. So like I'm not the most approachable. You know, I'm very heads down. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. And yeah, I was at the convenience store. I was at 7-Eleven, and I was trying to look at the Celsius because I was tired. I was looking at the Celsius. Which one do I want? Which one do I want? And then his man came by, and he was like, oh, excuse me, because he was trying to get to the cooler next to me. He goes in, and as he walks past me, he looks back and he goes, like that meme when the guy like turns around. He's like holding his girlfriend's hand, and he turns around and like checks out the other girl. It was like that, except there was no girlfriend. He was just by himself. And he turned around and he goes, I love your ensemble. He didn't say it like that. That made it sound like he was a gay man. He said, I love your ensemble. And he pointed out my outfit and gave me a good up and down. And I was like, ensemble? It's all dirty to me. And I was like, oh, thank you. And I hit him with a big old smile, like huge. And then, you know, he walks by, whatever. That's not the flirting part. Because you're like, girl, that's not flirting. That's just a compliment. Chill out. I know. Then he goes to the checkout. I grab my Celsius. I'm like, okay, I know which one I'm going to get. Cosmic, whatever the fuck. Whichever the one that has a red dye 40 and tastes like fucking fireworks. That's the one I grabbed. We walk to the cash register. He's in front of me in line. Now I'm behind him in line. So we're coming in contact again. And then I'm like standing in line, like looking around, not on my phone, because I'm trying to not use my phone, right? Okay. So I'm trying to be present in the moment. Even in a 7-Eleven, I'm trying to be there. Okay. He turns around, looks at me again, and he goes, I really did mean what I said earlier. And I didn't get a great look at your face back there. But now that I'm looking at you, you are beautiful. And you have perfect teeth. And I was like, thank you. Thank you so much. Oh my God. Stop. I was like, oh my gosh, thank you. He's like, no, seriously, I mean it. You're gorgeous. And I was like, okay, thank you. And he was very demure about it. He wasn't like, can I get your phone number? Can I? It was just like, it was like a compliment. I said, thank you. He said, no, I insist. I said, appreciate it. And then he kept it moving. And the cherry on top, he was hot. Okay? Because that's another thing. It's like every time I get hit on, it's like some ugly fucker. And it's like, ew. Like I'm not receiving it. I'm not taking that, and I don't claim that energy. This man was attractive. He was attractive. And he was like, have a lovely day. I was like, thank you, you too. And he was a bit older, you know? He had a bit of, you know, he seemed wise. He seemed like he knew what he was doing. He had his life together. He looked like he was getting ready to go to the gym and still caring about his body at his age. I'm acting like this man was like 70. I think he was probably like 35. But I was like, oh, that felt so good. As much as I don't want to do anything for the male gaze, because fuck men, I hate them. As a straight woman, it does feel pretty good to get complimented by an attractive man. Ugh, I know, it's so anti-feminism. It's so bad. But like as somebody who has not dated anybody in like 5 years, yikes, it's been less than that, probably at least 4. So I guess at least 4 would be about 5. Yeah, that's about it. I will say it did feel pretty good. It did boost my ego quite a bit. And then later that day, boom, another one. Another one. Another person flirted with me, complimented my appearance, told me I looked great, whatever. Then today, no, yesterday too. Yesterday, same shit happened. Same fucking shit happened. And every time it's never like they're not being weird and creepy. You know, I'm just so used to just like the most bleh, dumpster trash rat men that come out of the trenches to fling a compliment my way. And I'm just like, dodging it like Trump dodges the draft. No, yeah. So yesterday I went to Nordstrom because I went to go get my boss a gift because she's pregnant. And me and my other coworker threw her like little, not a shower, but like we just brought like cake and gifts and stuff to work today. I don't know. So I went to go get her a gift yesterday. And yeah, I got hit on a Nordstrom. And then somebody complimented me as I was walking through the mall over to Ulta. They're like, "You look great." I was like, "Oh, thank you." And I'm just like, wow. This is just proof that I am uglier when I'm pale. I've always known, okay? Because in college, actually it started in high school, because when you are a dancer, okay? Back when I was a dancer, I don't think it's like this anymore, because as literally my senior year of dance, when I was in high school, is when I feel like people started to really protest the like, you have to be tan to dance. But like, y'all, they used to make us do spray tans. I started getting spray tans really young because apparently it looks better when you're on stage and you're tan. I don't know. We had a bunch of millennials teaching us, and I feel like millennial culture was very tanning bed, spray tan, whatever. Like the tanning was very in the like 2000s and the late 90s and stuff. So like I think that just kind of trickled into us as children, and they're like, go get spray tan. Actually, crazy story. I've never told anybody this before besides like my core group of friends probably in high school. The first time I was ever spray tanned by somebody was, I think I was probably in like 7th or 8th grade. No, probably might have been 6th grade. It was pre my period. Okay. So let's just set the stage. I go to a hotel room. My dance coach takes me to a hotel room with her, me, and then like 1 or 2 other girls from my studio. And we go there, and a man tans us. And if you don't know anything about getting a spray tan when you do performance stuff, you don't have an underwear or bra on. You go butt booty ass naked because you can't have tan lines. So I had to disrobe in front of a man in like 6th grade to get a spray tan. Wow. Memory unlocked. I forgot. Trauma. Why the fuck did we do that? And why did my mom say, okay, you can go do that? She probably didn't know. I don't think any of us knew it was going to be a man besides my dance coach, apparently, because my dance teacher did, you know, she obviously was a dancer her whole life. And I guess this was the guy who did her tans. And I don't know his sexuality. You know, I was in 6th grade or 7th grade. I can't remember. It was one of the two. I don't know. I don't know if I could clock gay men back there, you know. I didn't know. Like, I knew what being gay was, but, like, I don't think I had a good grasp. I definitely didn't have, like, people in my life who were gay openly at that point, you know. I mean, I feel like maybe, like, 7th or 8th grade was my first, like, big exposure, I guess, to gay culture. But like before then, like I definitely didn't have like anybody in my life who was like outwardly gay yet. So I don't know if he was straight or gay. either way, I didn't want a man looking at my 6th grade Hina. I'll tell you that for damn sure. Could have been 7th grade. I don't remember. Either way, it doesn't matter. I was minor. So that's crazy. And yeah, so that was something that happened. And wow, that's crazy. I really forgot that happened. Literally no wonder I am so messed up in my head. Because there's like certain memories like that I don't know if anybody else has experienced this. This is kind of a tangent. And then we'll get to the topics of the episode. We haven't even touched a single topic that I wrote down. So we're off to an awesome start. Also, I didn't set my timer. Great. Perfect. Can you tell we haven't done this in a week? I can. Timer set. Okay. A couple of years ago, I started to realize that like I had very, very, very little childhood memories, like concerningly few. And I kind of just assumed that was normal. And when I would talk to people about it, they would recall stuff from their childhood at like very early ages, like 4 years old. And I'm like, girl, I don't remember shit. Genuinely. Like I don't even remember anything really besides like stories that people have told me. And so like I form memories from hearing the story, but like I don't have like the firsthand memory of it, like of so many things. And like a few years ago is when I first realized that it was like that, because somebody would ask me something or be like, oh yeah, like when I was in 3rd grade, and I'd be like, 3rd grade? I don't even remember my sophomore year of high school. Like, you know what I mean? It'd be stuff like that where I'm like, wait, what the fuck what was going on in my life? Like, I don't remember. And there's so many memories that like I just don't have from my childhood. And, you know, a lot of people like have said that like it's due to childhood trauma or whatever, but it's like, I'm like, I don't think there was anything traumatic really going on. I think I was just like a very stressed out child. And so maybe that's why, because like, I mean, I was like undiagnosed ADHD until I was in my 20s. So like maybe that's the case. Like I just had like a lot of anxiety and stress from that. I don't know, but there have been memories that I've been recalling the past couple of years from my childhood that I completely forgot about. It was so weird. It was like once I turned 25, I started slowly regaining like certain memories from childhood that like I completely did not remember prior to being like a certain age. And it was just so weird because like a lot of people are like, yeah, I don't remember stuff from my childhood, but like mine is like, it's like a crazy amount. Like it's like all of my childhood, and there's a lot of pieces of my middle school era, like 5th and 6th grade, I remember nearly nothing from, genuinely. And a lot of like, actually all of grade school, like probably prior to like my sophomore year of high school, I don't have like any memories. And that's like really like crazy to think about that. Like, I mean, that's a lot of years of my life. You know what I mean? That's like, what, 15, 16 years of my life that I just like don't really recall. And there's like a couple of memories that I have of like various moments, but they're not meaningful. Like none of those memories are like hold any meaning or whatever. And it's so strange looking back at like photos from that time or like video from when I was younger, because like I don't have recollection of it at all. Like, and it's weird because I see the photo and I recognize me, but I don't recognize that time at all. It's very strange. So yeah, if anybody else can relate, is it an ADHD thing? Is it just a me thing? Like, I don't know, but it's very weird. Because in the here and now, I retain information very well, and I have a lot of like almost like photographic memories of situations in my adulthood, but like childhood, like none. It's so strange. It's so weird. But yeah, what the heck were we going to talk about this week, guys? Oh my gosh. Wow. So much stuff has happened actually since the last podcast, i.e. Trump bombing Iran. Girl, what the fuck? That was crazy. I made a TikTok like the night that he announced thought the US had bombed Iran on fucking Truth Social or whatever his dumbass social media platform is. The fact that a president has his own social media platform called Truth Social, where he literally just spews lies and bullshit on, is like, I don't even know what to fucking say about it. It feels like we just genuinely live in some weird alternate reality that was written as like a satirical dark comedy about how capitalism and white supremacy ruin everything. Like that genuinely feels like what the world that we live in. Like it's so insane. And I made this video talking about how I have literally been so traumatized by Donald Trump's second presidency. And it was not, I wasn't saying like it was a unique experience at all. I was just saying that like I have lost the ability to have like emotion or reaction to bad news. Like genuinely his presidency, because every single thing that has happened has been so horrendous. Every single thing he has done, every decision he has made. And I know it's not just him. It's the powers that be. It's Peter Thiel. It's the Heritage Foundation. It's all these people pulling the strings and Trump is the fucking puppet. But everything that has happened during his presidency has been so horrific and delivered so horrendously, like that it has created this numbness and this lack of like response to this news for me. Like I genuinely feel like I cannot, like, it's not that I'm not like upset about stuff, because I definitely am. I think it's almost like my body has been so anxious and like my like adrenal glands have constantly been producing adrenaline so much throughout all of this bad news, and it's like it doesn't work anymore. Like nothing will surprise me. Like genuinely nothing. It's like having a boyfriend that like is just a piece of shit and he cheats on you, and you know, you guys break up or whatever, and then you learn that he cheated on you with 40 other people than the 12 people he told you about, and you're like, yeah, I'm not surprised. You know, it's like shit like that. It's like nothing he can do, literally not a single thing he could do would surprise me, because he is so horrendous, and his party and his people, you know, and just honestly the majority of our government is just so ridiculously bad that like nothing would surprise me, you know? And it didn't surprise me when, you know, 128 Democrats or whatever the number was voted against impeaching him. It did not surprise me, because I'm like, these people are part of the fucking problem in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Like, they all need to get out. Every last one of them. We need a redo. We need to just get all these old fucks out of here. Literally get them the fuck out. Because I don't know if you guys saw in New York, I think this happened last night, so it's going to be old news for you guys because this podcast comes out tomorrow. But Zohran Mamdani, he just won the mayoral campaign in New York City. A young left socialist, democratic socialist, just won. I don't think you guys realize how big of a deal that is. Like, it might not seem like that big of a deal. However, it is proof. That right there is proof that the people want young, socialist influenced Democrats to be running our country and to be making decisions on behalf of the people. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the thing about socialism is like we have skewed so hard what that means because we are so anti-socialism in America because we're capitalistic, and our government has like warped what the definition of socialism is to make Americans feel like it is not a good thing for them. And in reality, it's like we practice a lot of like quote socialism ideas in non-socialism ways, in ways that do not benefit us, but we still practice them. Like think about the idea of insurance, right? You pay a specific amount to basically a big pot, okay? It's a big pot that you pay money to in case you need it, right? You pay money to it. However, if somebody else needs it and they also pay into the insurance, technically the way that it works is the insurance will cover, right, the cost that was agreed upon with everybody's money. So everybody who's paying in that State Farm, we all have State Farm, okay? Boom, 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 boom. I don't get in a wreck. So I don't need the insurance money. But Bob wrecks his fucking car and he needs insurance money. So he pays his deductible, $1,000. State Farm covers the rest. That money is all of our money that we put into State Farm. The only difference is State Farm is a company and they make money. They make money because every year they can increase your rates. Every year they can change the rules. They can, say, oh, well, you did this, so you are more high risk because, you got an offender bender 3 years ago and we're going to increase your insurance by X amount percentage over the years. So now you pay more and whatever. Okay. Because at the end of the day, they're a for-profit company, so they have to make money. So they have to charge you more than what it's worth. So it's like we all contribute to ideas that stem from socialism. But when it comes to our taxes, it's like people switch up and they act like they don't want taxes to go towards the greater good of society. And they only want it to go towards what? Military funding and lining the pockets of, all of these military contractors and paying elected officials more. And, I don't know. It's like, why do you want the money to go to that? I don't think you really do. I don't think you really fucking care. I don't think you care where the money goes, because if you did look at where the money goes, you should be pissed off. You should be wondering why your city still has potholes everywhere. You should be wondering why you don't have that traffic light that's needed on the road where school children walk across the street that's 45 miles an hour. Like, that's where you should be saying, why are my taxpayer dollars not going towards that? Why are they not going towards making my life better and everybody in my community's life better? Because I'm paying the government, hello, that's what the whole fucking point is, to make it better. But instead, we still pay taxes. Everybody pays taxes, except for rich people, proportionally. But we do not see the benefits of that. So I don't understand this whole anti-socialism thing, because it's like we practice so much rules of socialism and in other things, think of union work, that concept was made to protect the worker. And it came from socialistic ideology, And nobody should disagree with that. Nobody should think that there shouldn't be unions. And if you do, you're just a greedy, crazy person. Because at the end of the day, it's like, of course you should protect the laborers who do the work. Hello? That seems insane to not agree with that. And a lot of people who are against this idea of socialism are also union workers. They also pay for their own health care. They also have to have insurance. It's like, but if it's coming from the government, you don't want it. You don't want government handouts. You don't want this. I want government handouts, babes. My money's going to the government. I want something good out of it. Hello? I'm baffled. I don't understand. Rich people take government handouts like it's fucking candy at Halloween in the big bowl that says take one piece, and they go handfuls, dump that whole bitch in their bag. So why don't you? Why do you not take advantage of the stuff that your taxpayer dollars are paying for already? Because they have framed it in this way to make it seem like it's embarrassing, or that you are less of a hard worker, or that you are of lower status by claiming the things that are genuinely rightfully yours that you are paying for. That they're not. Proportionally, billionaires are not. But they're making money from. Look at churches. Hello? Everybody and their goddamn mom has a fucking church. Because why? They don't have to pay taxes, bitch. Churches have so many tax breaks. look long and hard enough at damn near every single church, and you will start scratching your head thinking, wait, how are they affording to do this? Because they're doing other shit. They have non-profits going on in the background, so they're making money from the government. They have this stuff happen. They're giving back to the community, donations and whatever. And there's so many loopholes for people who don't need it. But then for the people who do need it, for mothers, who need access to, good doctors, for children who need school lunches. That's the most insane thing to me, is when people who do not support their tax-paying dollars to go towards free lunch at school. I don't understand. You claim you care about kids. You claim you care about protecting America and blah, blah, fucking blah. And you don't want Billy to go to school and be able to eat a fucking peanut butter and jelly sandwich so he doesn't starve, because you have helped create a system that doesn't allow his parents to make enough fucking money because we refuse to raise minimum wage, which does not only affect minimum wage, it affects everybody. It affects everybody, because if minimum wage is set at this amount, then the next tier up from that can set it way lower. And we have had the same minimum wage since, like, federal minimum wage since, I don't know, like the 80s or some shit. It's probably wrong. I'll Google it and I'll put it on the screen. But it's still $7.25 here in Tennessee. $7.25. That's actually fucking insane. That's actually fucking insane. That's crazy. $7.25 an hour. Oh, what are you gonna do with your paycheck? I don't know, wipe my ass with it because it's probably worth more as toilet paper. Hello? And look, I'm not anti-capitalism, okay? I think that there is a time and place for that. But I do think we have gotten out of fucking control. We have stripped the people of any power, and we have given it exclusively to the people who have money. And the issue is, the wage gap is so huge that the people, even in middle class, will never come out of it. It will not happen. It genuinely is not going to happen. And the people who are lower middle class are not going to work their way up to upper middle class, because there is no path to that. The dollar is worth less and less. People are getting paid less and less. The economy is in the fucking shitter. Nobody has money to spend. So there's no generation of new wealth and yada, yada, yada. So it's like the very fucking least the government should be giving us stuff, or making our lives better, or building parks, or help housing homeless people, or whatever, with the money that we give them from every fucking paycheck. So that's my tea on that. But anyways, all that to say, it's a really good sign that he was elected in New York City, because, New York is a state that holds a lot of wealth in terms of, I think people always associate the South with being red and, that's who votes conservative and whatever. Go to any wealthy city, especially New York City. It's like one of the most expensive cities living in the world. A lot of people there vote conservative because it's better for their checkbook. So the fact that New York City elected a socialist democratic mayor is really good news, because it's proof that what the people want is change. We want the opposite of what we have right now, and we want young people. I think this guy's 33 years old, which is amazing. And as it should be, like, we don't need people who have, lived longer in like the 21st century than they have in the 20th. You know what I'm saying? It's like, to me, it's a no-brainer. And I don't know. It was just a really big win, especially after the impeachment stuff with Trump and the Democrats voting against it. It's just proof that, like, there are going to be better people who can be elected. You know what I'm saying? Like it kind of helped restore a bit of faith that the people do hold some power because people made that happen. The presidential level is very, very different because of the electoral college and because of, I'm not going to say voter fraud, but let's just say the numbers do not make sense for Donald Trump being the president. The numbers do not make sense. That's all I'm going to say. But yeah, it was a cool moment, and I'm sure the people of New York are feeling, good right now. And especially in the city like that where, they do have access to public transit and they have access to a lot of the things that, makes sense for the government to pay for. It should be interesting to see if they are able to implement some of that into the city to make things like public transit free, and to make certain healthcare related things free, because it's a good city to test that out in because the infrastructure already exists. It'd be different if it was like happening in Tennessee and we get this super progressive socialist democratic leader, because we don't have pre-existing infrastructure for it. So we can't, we would have to build it all, if that makes sense. We don't have a working subway system. We don't have this, that, and the third. We would have to build it all up. And for a place like New York that is established that way and already has the bones to just, the only thing that would be different is just distributing the money differently and making stuff essentially free, which it wouldn't be free because at the end of the day, your taxes are paying for it, but making it accessible to citizens of New York. It's a good place to test this type of leader at. So, congratulations, New York. I love you. I need to visit soon. I have a couple of friends who live in New York, and I never, I think I'm one of those people. It's my ADHD is so bad that it's hard for me to forward think. I think big and I have big dreams, right? But it's hard for me to plan them out when it comes to especially a vacation, because like I said at the beginning of the episode, it's the amount of things that have to happen for me to be able to take a vacation is just a lot at my job. And then when it comes to planning a vacation, I am bad at that. Genuinely so horrible, because I'm not a type A person, and it's really hard for me to think about what I'm going to want to do, because I'm the type of person who's I have to be in the vibe that day. So it's if I am on a vacation and the day that we're all supposed to go do this big fucking hike or whatever, and I'm not feeling it, if I wasn't planning the vacation, I would just pivot and just not do that and then just go do something else, So in my head, I'm very go with the flow, but I know on trips that's hard to do because a lot of places Nashville especially, it has become so population dense and so tourist fucking city that you can't go anywhere without a reservation. Even on a Thursday night, if you go to anything that's remotely popular, you are waiting an hour, 2 hours to get a table for 2 people. You have to think about stuff. And I feel so guilty every time my parents come and visit, because I never have an itinerary planned. I do a lot of planning in terms of making sure they're comfortable here. I always make a big gift basket and have snacks, and I have sometimes I'll get a book for my mom, and for my dad, I just make sure that there's that he's all set with I have men toiletries as well as the girly stuff. I do everything like that so their stay is very comfortable, but I do not make a bunch of reservations and plan to go to museums and do all this stuff, because that's just not how my brain works. I'm very much I wake up one day, and if I'm in the mood to do something, I go do it, and if I'm not, then I don't. I don't know, and I wish I could be more on top of stuff like that, but me and my little brother have been trying to plan a fucking trip for God knows how long. Like, it's been months of us being like, let's take a trip in October. Okay. It is now almost July. We have no place in mind. And the issue is we are both ADHD and we're both like, my job is way more flexible. However, in October, my boss will still be on maternity leave. So I will be essentially doing 2 jobs because I'm taking over for her when she leaves. And not that she's leaving me a bunch of stuff. Like, she's gotten like 90% of her stuff done. But there's certain things that like I'm going to have to do because you can't pre-plan for. Like social media posts like that have links and stuff in them, I'm going to have to do because the content that it's linking out to hasn't even been created yet. You know what I'm saying? So it's like stuff like that where it's like, I'm going to have to take over. So it's not like I'm going to be that much more busy, but more than I currently am. And so it's hard for me to think that far forward of like taking off for an extended period of time when I know my boss is not going to be working. And so that means there's only going to be one other person in the marketing department during that time. And as her boss, I feel bad being like, even though she would have no additional work, like I would get it all done. Something in me, I just am like, I feel guilty about that type of stuff. And I shouldn't, but I do. And so we've been trying to plan this trip. And at first it started with like, we're going to go to New York City because I love New York. But he didn't really like seem to buy in that hard for New York. Also, like I love Broadway because, hello, I was like a dancer. Like I just am like I love the theater. I love Broadway. I don't think he's ever been to a Broadway show. And I think he would like it once he was there. Because, I mean, we did do acting camp back in the day. And he was in some musicals and stuff. Like, I genuinely think my little brother, if it wasn't that era where boys were just so fucking mean and insecure about literally everything, not saying my brother was, but just like his friend group and like toxic. He is only 2 years younger than me. So it was very much that era of like people being just like homophobic about things that are like not like an exclusively like gay thing. It is the same way with like dancing when I was younger. It was like if boys danced then they were gay. And it's like, or they just like dancing. And that's crazy that you don't want your kid to dance because you're afraid it will turn them gay. Like, what if that is their biggest passion in life and they never get to experience it because you're a fucking homophobic piece of shit? You know what I'm saying? It was like stuff like that where it's like, I genuinely think my little brother would have thrived as a theater kid. I really do. He loves history. So like, there's so much history in the world of theater. There's so many shows that have been going on for so long. And you know, there's a lot of like really, really like nerdy stuff about theater. It's just like a different type of nerd, you know what I mean? And so I think he would just genuinely love it. And he did a couple of like musicals and plays in like elementary school and stuff, and he was good at it. Like he loved performing. But then it was like, you gotta go do football. Kid hated football. He did not like it, but my big brother did football, so little brother has to do football. And it's like, but big brother liked football and little brother no like football, you know? But it didn't matter because he had to, because that's what boys do. Boys do football and basketball and soccer and baseball and whatever. But it's sad because I think that he missed out on a entirely different community of people that I genuinely think like would have made his life a lot more fun. If anything, like even if it wasn't better, I think he would have had more fun because it's like, I don't know. I think performing and stuff too, especially if you're somebody who is like for me in a group setting with people, I am always going to be the person who, like, I'll add to the conversation, but my role in a group dynamic is never the person driving in the boat, if that makes sense. Like, I can take over as that person from time to time, but it's just not in my nature to be, like, the group leader. If that makes sense. Like, every, like, friend group I've ever been a part of, like, I am a strong pillar of the group. But I'm more of like the supportive role of like, whoever needs me, I'm there for them. And I am, you know, I'm flexible. I can, you know, help with stuff. I love to host, but it's not like like I don't have to be the person who hosts. I don't have to be in control of the situation. I'm not going to be the one who like connects all of the friend groups together, because I have like all of these different friend groups that I'm a part of, because I'm like the social butterfly. Like that's just not in my nature. And I think the awesome part about doing theater or doing dance or doing some sort of like performance activity, even like playing an instrument or whatever, is you get to be the like star of the show for a moment. You know, you can be the lead. You can be the person that everybody is like looking at and paying attention to, because, you know, sometimes in my real life, like, I don't want to be that person. I want to be the background character in a lot of moments in my life. Like I'm not saying that I'm like this super shy, like, you know, I can talk to anybody genuinely, but it's exhausting for me sometimes to like have to be like on all the time. That's why I really like, you know, smaller groups of friends and stuff that I can feel really comfortable around, so I don't have to always, you know, drive the conversation. But I did always love that about dance, because you could be the star of the show on your own terms. You know, it was like, okay, for 2 minutes, I'm the one that they're looking at, and I'm going to be like, I'm the lead in this dance, and I'm the like main girl. So that's cool, because in a lot of my life, I'm not that person. And I think that's also why I really love social media and I love YouTube and stuff like that, because it gives you the opportunity to be like your own main character, you know, and not in like a narcissistic, I'm obsessed with myself way. But I think there's a lot of things that I'm able to say on here and to say on TikTok or whatever that I can't say in real life, because not that I'm afraid to or whatever, but it's like, I'm not the person who's always driving the conversation. I'm not the person who's always like the main event of the thing, you know. I'm the attendee. I'll show up, I'll bring the food, I'll do the thing, I'll run the errand, I'll whatever, but I'm rarely the one who is like the one in charge and the one, you know, the MC of the night. So I don't know. I think growing up performing, I really enjoyed that, because it can kind of, I can kind of put on this like persona of myself and in different dances and whatever. And I know a lot of people who are in like musical theater or just theater in general, like feel that same way, who are like actors and stuff. Like, it's nice because you don't have to be the you that you always are. It's like, it's not that you're this completely different person, but you can be a little bit, you know, more turn it up, you know? So I don't know. I don't really know where I was going with any of that. But here we are. Oh, I guess the last main thing that I wanted to talk about, hold on, let me take a sip of my water. The last like major thing I wanted to talk about was, I feel like I cannot escape Love Island conversation on TikTok right now. Everybody and their mom's talking about Love Island. And as somebody who has never watched Love Island, and I generally like am not a dating show watcher, like I don't like reality TV shows. For me are one of those things where it's like, I don't love watching, because I don't know. I don't know why I don't. I think I just am like one of those people that like, it's so fake to me. And like, I'm watching it through such a pessimistic lens, honestly, that it's not enjoyable. Because the whole time I'm like, why are these people like doing this? Like, this is so dumb. Like, why would you do this? Like, and I don't want to be that way, but I just am. Like, even when I was young, like I never got into like The Voice or American Idol or like any of that shit, because I was like, this is so staged and bullshit. The only reality show that I like really, really loved, but it was more because it was like campy, was like Real Housewives of Orange County. And then I did have Kardashian obsession for a while, but also the Kim Zolciak's TV show. I can't remember what it was called. I loved that show. But it was like, I loved those shows because like they played into the like scriptedness of it all. It's like, no, did they ever come out and say that it was scripted? No, but like the scenarios that they would get themselves into and like the dumb problems or whatever were so stupid and obtuse and like random that it was just like very obvious. And I feel like the editors played into the like dumbness of it too, with like the audios and the sounds that they would use and stuff like that. So I like that type of reality TV. And Jersey Shore. Like I loved Jersey Shore. But like competition reality TV shows, I'm not a fan of unless they are like mind game stuff. Like my favorite competitive reality TV show probably of all time is The Mole on Netflix. And it's a remake of an old competition show. But essentially it's like all of these people are playing and you as the audience also are not in on it. But everybody who's playing says that they're not the mole. And there's one person who's the mole whose role is to jeopardize all of these competition games that they play without getting caught. And the contestants have to vote every week who they think the mole is by taking this test. And the people who have the lowest score on the test get eliminated. And so the mole will never get eliminated because they know all the answers because it's them. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's like that, like mind game, like who is it? Like whatever. Like I love stuff like that because it feels like it gives you as a viewer like a reason to care. And then another show that I'm obsessed with that I genuinely think like most people would absolutely hate this show because it requires you to lock the fuck in. And if you are not locked in, you are going to be so fucking confused. But it's called The Devil's Plan on Netflix, another Netflix reality competition show. It is a Korean mind game show. So they bring these people to this like house basically where they stay for a week, and all of the people that they bring on are like super smart. Like they're either like professors or they're like, you know, have like this crazy high IQ or whatever. But what's cool about it is they're all like Korean celebrities basically. So there'll be some like K-pop idols, or they'll have like news anchors, or they'll have like the world champion of Go who like all these people know. It would be like in America if we had like LeBron James and he low-key had like a perfect IQ and everybody was like, oh my God, like this huge athlete, like this is insane, like, you know what I mean? And so I love that show because also what's cool about it is they open it up. They have auditions for quote normal people to come on too. So like if let's say I was like this Harvard graduate who is like insanely smart, like I am like the smartest person you've ever met and I know I'm gonna kill at this game, I can go to this open casting for it and like take like the test or whatever and the like screening to see if I could be on the show too. So you have all these like really big celebrities or whatever who are like low-key fangirling over each other the whole time because they're like, oh my God, like I watch you on YouTube, or I watch you, like I've been to your concerts, like, so that's cool. But then you have like normal everyday people who it's so cool to see because they're just there because they're really smart. And so like, I don't know. So they play these like mind games, and by mind games, I don't mean like they fuck with each other, but they'll be playing these like super complicated, like intricate games that require you to like really lock in and be smart and whatever the whole time. And you get like these things called pieces, and they hold weight in terms of you know, how long you can stay on the show, and like there's certain things that you can do with the pieces that can help, you know, you stay on longer. And at the end of like each day of them playing like these games, they go to this like game arena, they play it there, and then at the end of the day they go back to like the house area. But if you did bad in the game or whatever, or you have like the people with the fewest pieces have to go sleep in what they call the prison, and it's literally like the set of this place is just really fucking cool. They like created this like fake prison where like the quote inmates have to go sleep in, but they also have to play like another game that night. And if they lose that game, then they just go home immediately. But then in the prison, there's like hidden clues. Like if you find them, then you can go have the chance to like win a bunch of other pieces and stuff. And there's like hidden stuff in the house. So like, I don't know. It's so cool because it's kind of like a giant escape room where like their living quarters are. Like there's like there's like stuff that's hidden in plain sight and whatever. And it's really cool. A lot of riddles that you have to solve. But then like the games themselves are super intricate and it's fun to watch as the viewer because it's almost like you're playing along with them. Like, I don't know. I love it. I think a lot of people would fucking hate it. Also, it's in Korean, so you're reading subtitles the whole time. But that's my shit. Like, I love watching a foreign show. I'm like, I don't know. I just like it so much more. I think I've just gotten so used to it watching so much anime that like, it's like subtitles have to be on for me to pay attention, but also it has created this appreciation for non-Western media that I have, regardless of where it is. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I really like it. Those two shows are great. All that to say, holy shit, we were talking about Love Island. I talked about The Devil's Plan for 10 minutes. A lot of conversation on the internet about Love Island. Every season it's like this, and every season I have no idea what the fuck anybody's talking about. However, because there's so much chat about it online, I feel like I don't even need to watch the show, which I never have. I've literally to this day never watched Love Island. Not a single episode. I don't know the show's lore. I don't know. I know the like Casa Amor is like something. I know bombshells mean something. I get the gist of the show, but I've never watched it. But this season, which just happens every season, people go viral. I feel like that's the whole reason they do the shows, to get like a social media following so they can become an influencer or do OnlyFans or some shit. But this season, a lot of people are talking about how over like filled and over botoxed the women are on the show, which, you know, I think we are so used to seeing people like heavily filtered on social media and stuff, because like, I mean, TikTok has that like built-in beauty filter that like will be automatically on unless you turn it off for your videos. So that alone, you know, does stuff to people's faces that we're not used to seeing in real life, like overly smoothed and, you know, slimming and whatever. And then on top of that, everybody, it seems like, who is famous as a influencer or an actor or whoever has had a lot of work done. And it has become the new normal, you know, to see people like that. But what's so shocking, and I think why people on Love Island or people who are watching Love Island are so like taken aback by in regards to women having, you know, filler and Botox and whatever, is the fact that the girls on the show are very young, like 21 years old. Like, I don't know who the oldest person is, but I've seen a lot of stuff about like 21, 22, 23-year-old girls coming on the show looking significantly older than they actually are due to the excessive amount of Botox and filler in these girls. And it's hard to watch stuff like that on the internet, of people like tearing apart people's appearances online, especially during a time when these people like don't have access to their phones. So like, imagine you go on this show and, you know, in your mind you are really hot, because I'm sure in person, like, A, you don't have the whole internet like fucking up your ass about your appearance, but B, like, you know, there's a certain type of person who really likes people to look like that, you know, especially like men and whatever. So I'm sure you've always gotten a lot of like validation from people about your appearance or compliments. So then when you go on the internet and you see people just like eating you up for the way that you look, when, you know, you've probably been told or even you feel like you look really good because that's what all these other people in that field, me like acting like this is like, oh, rocket science or like fucking medical or whatever. It's like reality TV personality, like if you're in that field of work. But everybody else looks like that too. So you're like very, it's like when people who are like from LA move here. Not to say that people here don't have Botox and filler and stuff, but there is like another level of that when they are coming from LA to Nashville, and it is so clockable. It's like, oh, yep, I know that you're not from here. Like, I know that you came from the West Coast where that shit is like being just slung out to every other bitch who can get their hands on it. And it's like, the thing is like, I'm not trying to talk shit on it because do whatever you want. However, there has been this like discourse around women getting body modifications, whether that be BBL, whether that be plastic surgery of any kind, whether that be Botox, filler, whatever. You know, there's been this discourse about, you know, women should do whatever they want with their bodies and it's empowering and yada, yada, yada. And when I was younger, I thought that. When I was 20, I thought that that was the case. I would get so annoyed when people would shit on women for getting stuff done because I was like, who the fuck cares? Like, they just want to like look like that because it will make them feel confident in whatever. And I was that bitch who was like, I need to get preventative Botox because that's what everybody's saying. And I need to get lip filler because that's what the Kardashians said. And I need to, you know, maybe one day I'll get liposuction on my chin because, you know, everybody's doing it. And it's really easy. It's just this little procedure that you can do and blah, blah, fucking blah. And I used to think that that was being like feminist, like, oh yes, feminism, it's taking our power back and it's being in control of our own bodies. And then you turn 25, that frontal lobe develops and you think long and hard about why you're fucking doing it. You think, why am I doing this? Why do I want bigger lips? Why do I want my wrinkles on my forehead to go away? Why do I want my ass to be fatter? Why do I want my stomach to be flatter? And you think and you go, oh, it's because that is the beauty standard that society has created based off of what men want. And you say, I don't really want that anymore. I actually love the fucking way that I look right the fuck now. And I don't want my lips to not fit my face. And I don't want my forehead to not move when I smile. And I don't want my fucking stomach to be flat because I got surgery for it. Like, I like the way that I look right now. That is feminism. It is not getting it and being like, I have control over my body. And you can disagree with me on that, and that is perfectly fine. However, I will say this. You existing as you and you loving the body that you have is the most empowering thing that you can do, especially if it does not align with the Eurocentric beauty standards that we have in America. If you can love your body and you can say, I don't need to change a single thing about me because I'm perfect and I'm beautiful and whatever, because you are, because the beauty standards that we have are fucking insane and also like fake, because the comparison that people are making this to is to other women who have already had shit done. So it's like the beauty standard that exists is not even a naturally obtainable beauty standard. It's people who are on weight loss drugs, who are doing or they're just doing drugs, period. A lot of people just do coke and y'all don't want to act like they do. A lot of people abuse Adderall and you want to act like they don't. That's why a lot of bitches are skinny. Let's be so fucking for real. A lot of bitches have stank ass breath. They have fucking hair falling out. They look like they haven't slept in 8 years because they have an Adderall addiction and they don't fucking eat. So nobody wants to talk about that. And they have lips pumped full of filler. They got the fucking chin lipo because everybody has a fucking double chin. I'm sorry. Unless you have no body fat on you, you're going to have a little skin there because guess what? When you push your head down and you pull your head up, it has to have fucking ways to move or your neck wouldn't move. Like, are you kidding me? And so we're basing a beauty standard off of people who have had work done. Which is crazy because if you think about like the modern beauty standard in America, especially, it is the Kardashians, which is insane because it's a bunch of white women who altered their bodies to look more like how black women look naturally, the anatomy of a black woman, a larger rear end and more full lips, a more lifted butt and whatever. But that's not how they look normally. So then you have this new like breed of human that is just like not like they're not black women. So it's not a natural look, you know? And some people, of course, like some white women have larger butts naturally and they have larger boobs and they have bigger lips or whatever. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is those people also have complementary features to that on their body. Like if their butt is big, then their thighs are big because that's just how it works. If you have big boobs, you probably have like bigger arms because it's fat. And if you have more fat on your body, you're going to carry fat everywhere. You know, that's just how it is. And so the beauty standard is still this white Eurocentric beauty standard. However, it's not a natural woman who's white. It's this BBL body because it's not even like a real looking body, you know? It's like they just colonized and stole what black women look like and made this altered, strange, hypersexualized version of it on their own bodies as white women. You know, enhancing the boobs, enhancing the butt, thinning the waist as much as possible, thinning the arms, you know, thinning the thighs. So you just become this like weird, cartoonish looking person. And that's who sets the beauty standard. Because we live in, you know, a white supremacist fucking country. As unfortunate as it is, like that is the American beauty standard because of racism. You know, so it's like you want to take all the shit from black women, but we still, you know, glorify white women, even though they're trying to look like black women. It's like, hello, then are black women not the beauty standard? Why are they not the beauty standard? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. All this to say, yes, the people on Love Island look old as fuck. And yes, they are destroying their faces with filler and Botox at a very young age. And yes, we have gone way too far with plastic surgery. And yes, I think it is a net negative to society to allow doctors and damn near anybody with a fucking certificate to pump foreign substances into our bodies. There's no medical reason for that. And cosmetic procedures have been done since like Egyptian times. Since the fucking pyramids, okay? People have been getting cosmetic procedures done. So I'm not saying that it's never gonna happen, but what I'm saying is there is such a beauty in looking unique. You know, there's such a beauty in your own face regardless of what it looks like you could not like it, but somebody else thinks it's beautiful. And that's the whole point, right? It's like, we're not all meant to look the fucking same. And if we were, we would have evolved that way, but we haven't, you know? We've evolved in ways that like benefit us as people, you know? So I don't know. I just think it's so sad because I look at all these young girls, and social media is a big culprit of it, but it's also celebrities, and it's also, you know, Hollywood putting those type of people and casting people in role, and not casting older women because older women look too old, but now they have 21-year-olds getting shit done who look 45. It's like, we can't have anything because women have this beauty expectation that is so beyond ridiculous. And everybody promises that they can get you to look a certain way that you want to look, but in reality, is that a good look? I don't think so. Personally, I don't think so. So, I don't know. The Love Island girls, I do feel very bad for them, as just like the fact that they're going to come out of this experience, you know, and looking at, you know, all these people talk negatively about their appearance, because this is going to sound really backhanded, and I don't mean for it to, because I was also this age once, and I also got lip filler and Botox when I was 21. But like, they're clearly very insecure about their appearance, which is why they got this done in the first place, and impressionable. So then to come out of it with this public-wide negative perception on the way that they look is probably going to be very crushing to their self-confidence, which is just unfortunate. And it's sad, but also it's like, it comes with the territory of wanting to be the Instagram model girl. Like, you want to be the social media famous, the TikTok baddie, whatever. And yeah, I don't know. My advice to you would be, if you're going to get work done, don't let just anybody fucking do it. Don't let any esthetician just do it. Don't let any dermatologist just do it, or whatever, any med spa. Do your fucking research. Do as much research in the people that you are having doing your lip filler and your Botox and whatever else that you want done cosmetically as you would somebody giving you a nose job, as you would somebody giving you, I don't know, like fucking stomach surgery, you know, for like an actual medical need. Like, you should be researching these people, because a lot of people who are doing these fillers and doing the Botox and stuff, the only thing that they have is the license to do it, but it doesn't mean that they're good. You know, a lot of people have the license to tattoo, and a lot of tattoos look like fucking shit, you know? So do your research if you're going to do it. And if you are doing it and whatever, I would just encourage you to, like, I don't know, take some time and just like think about the reason that you're doing it. If it genuinely is because it makes you happier or whatever, then whatever, you know, I don't care. It's your life. Do whatever you want. But at the same time, I know that there was a point in my life where I thought I was doing it because of that. And it was definitely just because I was prefrontal lobe developed, insecure male gaze, you know, so. La la la, ending on a high note. Okay, guys, I've gone way over the time, and I think it's time for me to bid you adieu. I did not put anything on the story this week, so sorry about that. But thank you so much for being here. I love you so much. And if you would please subscribe to my channel. Like 90% of the people who watch my videos are not subscribed. So imagine if they were subscribed. I'd have like 12 more subscribers. I'm just kidding. But I love you guys so much, and I will see you in next week's club meeting. Bye.
The Girls Club, the Girls Club, the Girls Club. The Girls Club, the Girls Club, the Girls Club. It's my club and I'm a girl, yeah.